Cutting Horse was born on the open range, where ranchers would gather vast herds for branding, doctoring, and drive them up the famous trails to feed a hungry nation over 100 years ago. Some horses were better suited for separating a cow from the herd, becoming the royalty of the remuda. Ranchers would brag and bet on who had the best cutting hoss, and competitions arose. These select few were crossbred to create what we have today.
In a big round pen, the spirits are high, and every once in a while, good hoss come by. There's a loose rein, saddle on tight, sitting in the middle, make money tonight. Run like hell and turn on the dime, get yourself a hoss like mine.
Howdy folks, Kenny Emi here for the Weekend Cutter. Come join us as we take you on a trip from the practice pen to the show arena and let you listen in as top cutting horse trainers prepare their students to compete in the Western industry's most exciting equine sport. So sit back, relax, and you'll learn what it takes to become a top weekend cutter.
Take 'em on down, take 'em on down, take 'em on down like a lane. Take 'em on down, take 'em on down, take 'em on down like a lane. Then the money starts coming from everywhere around the radio.
Wrangler Premium Performance Cowboy Cut Jeans. Comfort that works as hard as you do. 20% longer lasting denim. More comfortable waist. Premium Performance Cowboy Cut Jeans. Wrangler. Long live cowboys.
Whether your horse is a competitor in the show pen, your right hand on the farm, or a retiree, a long, healthy life awaits him. From pharmaceutical and healthcare products to supplements and stable supplies, Farm Vet will deliver you the products that will keep your horses and other pets happy and healthy for their entire life. When it comes to the products you trust, you can rely on Farm Vet.
Hello, I'm Matt Gaines. I'm here with Tom Holt today. We're going to work some cows here in a little bit, and I'm going to do a little coaching on Tom. But before we get started, Tom, tell me a little bit about your mare.
Well, this is a 12-year-old mare that my wife and I own. She's sired by Highbrow Cat. Her name is Cat Jumped Over the Boone, and she was showed as a 3-year-old on the Pacific Coast at the smaller fraternities. Ended up 3rd out there that year, and then we acquired her in her 5-year-old year, and she's part of our brood mare band right now more than anything else. Fortunate enough to have a nice mare like this to come show and work a cow with you.
That's good. Tell me kind of, excuse me, everybody knows you as the voice of cutting. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in that, how all that's evolved for you.
Well, I was living in Yuba City, California, and a good friend of mine, our neighbor, he belonged to a club that put on cutting horse shows on Memorial Day weekend. And I happened to go and hang out with him one weekend in '82 and got to drive tractor and worked the beer booth and got to announce a little bit. Everybody in the club took a turn, and the lady that was the secretary of the show, she thought I did a good enough job so that in '83 when they put the show on, I was kind of the regular announcer for that weekend cutting. And one of the things that I remember most about that weekend cutting was one of the first names I got to announce was Mr. Pat Patterson. He came out there, he was hauling that year, and it was really I didn't know it at the time, but it was something special at that time to introduce Mr. Pat Patterson to the cutting arena.
Yeah, he was definitely a legend in our business.
Yeah, you know, at that time I didn't know how much of a legend, because '82 was the first time that I'd ever been to a cutting, and in actuality, '82 was about the first time I was ever really around horses too. So I mean, it was a lot of fun, and became more fun as we went along, knowing that what I was getting into. You know, I always wonder what goes through a rider's head, because I don't get to do this hardly at all anymore. But when you walk down there to the herd, whether it be in Fort Worth or at a Pacific Coast event or any place else that you go, what's one or two things that you may be working on or you're trying to think about other than being positive while you're down there?
You know, I always just try to treat it as my job. I try to treat it as a job because for me it is my job. You know, people send me horses to train and show and try to win money on their horses, and that's my job, and that's how I go about it. And I'll always, before every run, I'll break that job down, so what's my job? Well, my job's to make good, clean cuts, number one. My job's to make sure I don't have any reining points. Anything I can control, reining points, hot quits, switching cows, cuts, clean cuts, all those things that I can control, that's what I focus on. Cutting, there's a lot of variables in cutting. There's some things you can't control. But I feel like if I can control everything, if I can do a good job controlling everything I have control of, then that gives me the best shot to have a successful run. So that's my focus. I'll break down that run, those things that I have control of, that's what I focus on. And it starts when they bring my cows in, because that's another very important concept, in cutting is, the cattle. And, the picking cattle is hard. You're never always right, but you have to have you have to know those cattle and know which ones are supposed to be good. And not only that, if you're deep in the herd, which ones have been cut, what's left. And, because sometimes you get down there, you might be thinking on cutting one cow and it acts bad or you can't get it in a good spot and you have to find something else. So you need to know those cows so that all right, well, this isn't going to work. What's up here that I can cut? And, so for me, it starts when they bring my cows in. I get focused in on the cattle then, but before they ever bring my cows in, I'll run through, like I said, kind of my checklist. Sure. Those things, clean cuts, no reining points, no hot quits, no switches, all that stuff. And then when they bring my cows in, I get focused in on my cows, and and I just try to stay focused from then till I get done with my run. And that's kind of how I go about it. And I don't try to, for me, I try not to think about winning. I try not to think about losing. I just try to think about doing my job, because, if you do your job and you got a good horse and you cut the right cows, you're probably going to win. And, that's what I tell people all the time. Cutting's not about me trying to beat you. My competition's those cows. I have no control over what you do or anybody else does in that show pen. The only thing I have control over is what I do, and that's the name of the game. It's my job to go do the best job I can down there, and it's your job or whoever else is competing to go try to do better than I did. And that, and that's the name of the game, and that's how I approach it.
One of the things that I see a lot, especially in the non-pro division and in the amateur division, is those top riders in both of those divisions treat it as a job. They'll study those cows and they'll talk to people and they'll get good help and all. But the majority of times, the amateur is a fun event for me to watch because the majority of those people are there to have fun. The cost doesn't matter, the money's already spent, but they're there to have fun, and that's such a pleasure to see sometime in a sport where there are so many variables and it can be so frustrating and humbling.
Right. Hello, this is Matt Gaines. The Weekend Cutter will be right back after these messages.
When you feed a Purina product, you're definitely going to see a difference. The work that we do here at the farm really contributes to horses overall.
No one else invests the time and energy and effort like this research farm and the horses we have here.
They're just, a spectacular animal.
Stay tuned. We're busy here and we got a lot more work to do.
See the Purina difference. Take the 60-day challenge and save on Purina feed. Sign up at purinadifference.com.
Smart and Slick is the kind of stallion you want in your breeding program. His foals are competing and winning in a variety of performance arenas. No matter what direction you want to take your colt, Slick can get you there. winning 203 weekend checks across the country the hard way. Put a slick in your breeding program. Smart and Slick's 2011 breeding fee is $900. Contact Meridian Equine Center at meridiananimalhospital.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Holt, and welcome back to the Weekend Cutter.
Right, and I think that's one thing that is great about the Derby, because we have the youth cutting there along with, you know, all the other amateur classes, limited non-pro classes, and non-pro and open that we usually have. So I mean, you really do. You get everybody there really, and it's fun to see it all and how it all comes together from the youth, you know, all the way up to the open competitors. So yeah, I enjoy it too. It's fun to watch. Speaking of the Derby, that's why you and I are here, is try to get you ready.
Yes, sir.
So maybe it's about time we work some cows.
Well, that will be all right with me. I'm going to get to live one of my dreams, to show a horse in the Will Rogers Coliseum.
One of my dreams too. I get to yell at you. Now, Tom, I like to try to keep things pretty simple with what I teach and also in my training program. So, you know, I will work on making a good cut, your positioning on your cut, and then, you know, to me the most important thing in cutting is positioning. And my goal is try to keep my head's horse basically even with that cow. It kind of gives you a target, you know. When I say even with the cow, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I want you to cover that cow on both sides, and that'll be the majority of what, you know, I'm gonna stress while you're working, is stay even. Try to make sure you're setting in those stops, you're letting that cow pull you through that turn, and so I mean that's kind of what I'm gonna be telling you. That's what I'm gonna be instructing you on, is that kind of stuff, and we'll try to keep it that simple and go from there. We'll kind of see how it goes, and you know, and add or as we need to. There's this brown cow right over here with the white belly and the white switch.
Okay.
She's fresh, so step in there and cut her, and we'll go to work.
Okay.
Now, as you go to the herd, try to be as smooth and calm as you can. Try not to scare that cow you're cutting or the other cows around it if you can.
Okay.
Try to work that cow in a good spot where you can separate her from the rest of them. Like right now, you've got that cow coming up the outside. If you can kind of keep that cow coming up the outside and let these other cows roll, it'll give you a good shot to cut her. There you go. Kind of keep coming up. Very good. Very good. You need to step up to her head there a little bit. Smooth now. Smooth, smooth, smooth. All right, be patient and go with your cow. Go with your cow. Okay, hand down. Now just stay even with that cow. All the way over here. Very good. Stay even. Let that cow pull you through. Wait, wait. There, you're all right, you're all right, you're all right. All the way across. Hey. Good, Tom. Very good. Relax just a little. Don't fight it. Very good. All right, quit that cow.
You know, she kind of surprised me there at the very start, and I was a little myself out of whack on my saddle. I wasn't real prepared right there.
Right there at the start, your horse missed that cow a little bit, and it kind of shook you loose. But I think kind of what you're saying, to follow up with what you're saying, I think the reason your horse missed that cow is because you weren't really set in there and ready either. You know, and your horse kind of felt that, misread the cow a little bit. After that, it was really good. You did a pretty good job cutting that cow. You had some separation there. You could have maybe been a touch stronger up into that cow's head, maybe got a hold of it and kept it from getting paired up with those others. You know, I mean, you wouldn't have wanted to jump at it, but
Sure.
but maybe just being a little more aggressive, trying to get a hold of that cow, maybe push it up here a little more away from those other cows.
Right.
We'll get one more cow. I'll put one more cow in, and we'll work another one.
Okay.
And is there, before we do that though, is there any questions about anything? Do you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. You know, I still catch myself from years ago when I rode when I was a little bit bigger than I am now. I still catch myself pulling myself into that horn where I know I should just be relaxing a little bit more and just putting enough pressure on to keep my balance. And so that's one of the things that I've got to work on.
Just work on, you know, keeping that upper body relaxed, well, everything relaxed, and, you know, and setting those stops and push on that horn. Don't get too bracy up here. You know, try to stay soft, try to be a part of that horse. If we get started a little better, that's her back there on the back gate right now. There you go, just like that. Try to keep bringing her up that outside. Smooth. Get across, don't get behind now, don't get behind. There you go, good. Come on up just a little. Okay, now stay even with that cow. There you go, wait. Good, Tom. Good. All the way. Use that right leg a little going that way. Right leg a little bit, good. Good job. Hey, hey, hey. There you go, stay even all the way, good. Wait on that cow, perfect. All the way over here, good. All right, now find you a place to quit. Find you a place to quit. Right there. Good job, Tom. Doesn't get any better than that.
Saddles are a very important element in a cutting pen. You know, the way we build our saddles, they're all hand cut, they're hand fit. We put all the other ground seats in them. And for an amateur or even for non-pros, especially the amateurs, you know, when you get into cutting, you're not really learning how to ride, you're learning how to sit. And we also carry a wide variety of apparel, you know, custom belts, boots, tack, and of course, saddles.
Roger Peters has ensured the performance horse business for over 35 years. Inducted into the NCHA's Hall of Fame in 1999, Open World Champions to the Amateur Weekend Cutters have come to trust the Peters family.
Performance horses are a huge investment. Protect your investment with Roger Peters Livestock Insurers. I do.
Hey, this is one of the yellow horn cows here. The other one's over in front of Corey.
Okay.
Either one of them. That cow's going to go up the outside over there, Tom.
That yellow cow right there? Okay.
Step on up, Tom. Keep stepping to that yellow cow on top. Yellow cow on top. Yellow cow on top. Just keep stepping to her. There you go. Just like sitting in that chair up there with that microphone. It's easy. Hey, hey. Right back over there. The other yellow
This
cow.
yellow cow right here? This one right here? This one on the outside? gonna cut 3 cows.
Keep stepping her on up there. Wait, that's all right. Look, little black cow on top. Either one of those. Either one. Step on up a little. Up, up, up. Come on with her. Hey. Okay. Sit down. Wait, relax. Right there. Right here. Come, right here. Come, right here.
No, I ain't doing that.
Good job, Tom.
Representing NCHA staff. You did great, Tom. Slow down.
Well, thanks, Lindy. It's always lots of fun to be here at Will Rogers, and yeah, I'm sweating a little.
You're shaking.
I'm not shaking too bad. No. People came out. Thank everybody for coming out, and thank all the NCHA sponsors. Appreciate it.
Great job, Tom.
Well, you just got to see Tom Holt show here in the big house, the Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth, Texas. Tom, tell me about that run. That had to feel good.
I'll tell you what, that was a lot of fun. You know, one of the dreams I ever had was about being able to show here. Not very many people get to, and to be able to ride a horse like that and cut 3 cows with a good help, and you know, Will Rogers. There's nothing like Will Rogers.
Well, this place has its own mystique, and it's got a place in all of our hearts, you know, so we just love this place. But getting to show here, you did something I haven't done, though. You did it, and you did it well. I've been here a few times and hadn't done worth a flip, so I'm proud of you. That was good. Your practices went well out at Matt's. One of the neatest guys to get to work with, Matt Gaines. Tell me about that real quick.
You know, it was a real pleasure to work with Matt. You know, his instructions were clear. I mean, everything was very precise. You knew exactly what he wanted you to do when he went in, and you just executed. It's like he told me when we were watching cows before we started. He said, just do your job. Just do it like you did at the ranch. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about who's here and who's watching, and just go and do your job. And it was lots of fun. He put me on a cow, the first cow we had picked out, and it turned out to be a real good stubby horn cow. And then the second cow, we were going to cut another yellow cow stubby horn, and I had to check off a bit because she kind of took off and was in a little bit of traffic on the second cow, but the black cow worked out okay, and my mare threw me around just a little bit, and it worked out good. And then the third cow, everybody was screaming to cut a third one, so I hustled up back in there and got another one chipped off, and it was real good. It was lots of fun. A dream come true.
Well, I tell you what, to be, you know, kind of famous like you are, the man is the voice of cutting, and everybody that's gone to the herd here has heard his voice echoing in their ears as they're going through there. But it is great. Now I want to show you this fella that's walking up behind you here. He's the one that was out there helping you, talking to you.
What about my
What do you
guy?
think about that?
He
huh?
did awesome, didn't he?
Well, I tell you what, he was confident.
Well, he showed good. I tell you what, and the one thing he did that impressed me more than anything, and it's something nobody would even notice, the second cow, we were going to cut a little gold nubhorn cow, and that cow come around the outside, and she got to acting bad and ducked around, and he just, you know, he didn't panic. He let her go, and he checked off and cut another cow, and you know, that's not easy to do. For somebody that hadn't shown much, you know, because usually when you help people and you tell them a cow, they get so zeroed in, and you know, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes those cows, you think they're going to be okay, and they're not, or they're in a bad spot, and you know, he showed a lot of poise there, and you know, let that cow go and cut something else and made it work, and ended up having a good ride. I was really proud of it.
Oh, yeah, we was all proud of it. Now, what'd you think about a little bit of that tomfoolery going in?
Well, I expected that. I mean, you know, you had to expect that, and you know, that's another thing. I was proud that he didn't let it unnerve him too bad, because I know he was nervous a little anyway. So.
You know, we were just talking about this. He actually, and I believe him,
thinks that settled him down. He was a little nervy going in, and then a little bit of the laughing and giggling coming out settled him down. He went in there and did an awesome job. Thank you very much, Tom, for being on the Weekend Cutter, and Matt, we sure appreciate you being on here.
I enjoyed it. It was a blast.
Yeah, we have got to do more stuff together.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks again.
Good job.
Enjoyed it.
Hey folks, that's our episode for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and come cut up with us a little bit next week on the Weekend Cutter. Children's Advocacy Center, helping those that need our help the most. Charity Foundation, on-site support services for cancer patients. NCHA Radio, anytime, anywhere. Top country music and cutting horse news with Tom Holt. National Cutting Horse Association, promoting the sport of cutting since 1946. Quarter Horse News, subscribe today for all your up-to-date performance horse news. Wayne Hodges Trailer Sales, taking care of performance horse folks for over 35 years. Meridian Equine Center, a full-service reproductive facility, proudly standing smart and slick. Equine Sports Medicine and Surgery, because your horse matters. Contact one of these fine trainers to see success in the cutting pen sooner than most.
Every once in a while, something special come along here, make you smile. In a big round pen, the spirits are high. Never once in a while, good house come by. It's loose rein, saddle on tight. Sitting in the middle, make money tonight. Running like hell and turn on the dime.
Visit theweekendcutter.com's merchandise page for all your shirts, caps, t-shirts, decals, anything you need to look like you watch The Weekend Cutter. Be sure and go to The Weekend Cutter's Facebook page and like us.